music I drop like a bus in our head, so we go non-stop. Music sweet, so we keep on rocking. Hey. Well, tell them again. Anyway, they panic, I'm calling my friends with the life of the party. It's a 10 out of 10, so we have to touch it roll like
99.9 WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
We are back with more talk time here on Activated Mornings with Roleza and Dianna. And at this time, Kingsley DeFreitas, because he's already on the line to give us his usual morning commentary. Kingsley, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. Everything is okay with me. I had a very good weekend, an interesting weekend. And the reason why I said so, I was fortunate to be driving somebody making an assessment of Camillo Gonsalves / Mr. Deluxe. And last election, you will hear people who support the NDP saying that Mr. Deluxe came close. And I hate to hear that, it sounds like nonsense. And she will win the next election against Camillo Gonsalves. But I don't buy that theory from the NDP. And you hear both fans who speak for the NDP. You hear Colin Graham saying that. You hear a man who is called Hoffman and Greg Batiste. They speak the loudest, saying that Mr. Deluxe is going to win this seat. And the person who was making this assessment is a regional organization. And I get the impression they're doing it because there is a theory that Ralph Gonsalves is going to make some changes and Camillo might success be in the leader of the party. And I got the impression, listening to them, that Camillo has three good things going for him. He's Ralph Gonsalves' son, Minister of Finance, and he has a constituency that he inherited that was once held by some appointments for the deceased Wilson Cooper. So those three things seem to be going in Camillo's favor. And let's face it, the young man is an intelligent man. You listen to him presenting budget speech, making regional speech and international speech. He's a true politician in making. I personally don't have a relationship with Camillo, but we have to be fair. If somebody is out there and they are doing relatively well, some people might say, but doing relatively like well, not fixing the road in Say Hall. No, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about his ingredients in politics. I think that he has an advantage. And for those persons who were saying that Camillo is going to lose the seat to Mr. Deluxe, you need to consider some of the things that I said. I think that Camillo is better placed to win the seat. And if I am Ralph Gonsalves and I have some money put aside for a campaign, I'm going to make sure get some of those money to my son and make sure that he wins his team. I am just hoping that people taking these comments seriously. While I agree that the people don't make up their mind who they're voting for, but the last election, 500 people did not vote in the constituency where Camillo is currently held. If half of them come out and vote for Camillo, Camillo is still going to win. If half of them come out and vote for Mr. Deluxe, he's still going to come in second. And this election here will be interesting because hey, if the NDP wins, that's the end of the NDP. Fitzbambo will say that he wants leadership, and Dr. Charles don't indicate that's his intention. And if the NDP wins, you will see the youth fall apart. Because some of the young people, they like church and Bob and friends and people. They move on. I don't think they have that mental to stick around for 5-10 years as in a position. So it's very interesting here, and we will see how musicians and people think from the next election. And I'm looking forward to going to call election in December. I love December election. I'll have a wonderful day. Tomorrow.
Why do you prefer elections in December?
Why?
Uh-huh.
I just get habit. It's a bad habit. A girl from Roleza.
Okay. All right.
How much election he won? He won 5 elections, and one of them was in the 20th of March 2001, and so December.
Okay, but you don't think that it takes away from the Christmas spirit?
You think so?
Asking.
Nah, man. Nah. When people love the Christmas so much, they probably forget extra celebration when they come. Nah, I don't think so. I think that it just maintain the flair that Christmas is Christmas, is what we say.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
See you too. Thanks.
All right, so wow.
You heard a fever?
I saw something's very wet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Kingsley DeFreitas. Oh wow, that was Kingsley DeFreitas giving us his morning commentary. There is Camillo better placed for what is it? Let me get his thing proper. Is Camillo Gonsalves better placed to win his seat? So that was Kingsley. That was his commentary there this morning. If you wish to call us, you can. You can call us 457-9997, WhatsApp direct call to be a part of our discussion here this morning. All right, I guess what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn over to Roleza so Roleza can give us her comments on Kingsley's commentary.
All right, so we have a call at this
Okay, no problem.
Hi, caller, good morning.
Morning. Back to the panelists at the station. I even know their name, but I'm Maisha.
Samuel and Cain.
Some lovely voice here and some intelligent people.
Good morning.
Yes. And, when I hear you ladies talking, I just feel, I just sound something like Kingsley. I want to sound like Kingsley because I find out that I try to balance the story and balance whatever one is going to say. And be very careful in how you interpret certain things. And that good for station, that healthy for station. But where Kingsley was saying this morning, it's so true. Camillo and I'm finance minister and look like a politician and sound like a politician and could do politician work. It's way past this lady by 100 miles. Now, I want to ask one of your questions. Do you ever, you times used to have a read, like a midday news reading after they take a little break too, and this lady used to read the news. I wonder if anyone has ever heard that. Ever listen to New Times and Bilox reading the news?
No, I never did.
Well, girl, I glad because if you really, they had also cut sharp. Because I wonder if she a kindergarten student or somebody that ain't understand reading. I do really, not to say about him, but they're telling the gospel and his truth. This lady, this lady grab and pick so much that even if I feel like they want to let she lose, but because she comes so close, they figure they come and put she back again. But she really lack a reading knowledge. She really, I don't know how she get work in the bank for so long. And I know King never absorb it. But if he never absorb it, he must go back to some of these scripts. But this lady was reading news, and it really disgraceful. So a politician read some kind of news like this kind of simple news. And it was their own party say, and she couldn't make it. And then they cut her out. But
let me ask you a question, right? You're tying it, the point that you're making in with her reading the news to her potential as a constituency rep. You're tying those 2 points together.
She couldn't make put one and one together.
So is that in your book a markdown for her as a politician?
Well, at least when somebody come out to represent somebody, they're supposed to be vibrant and be leading from in front.
Well, which is true, but if
you put somebody to do something on a radio station, if you put them to read the news, I put them to read sports. You're supposed to know that these people. You're supposed to know that you have somebody, a real sports person, and is waiting somebody who could read the news. But I tell you, she really let me down. She will let down siblings and everything, and I hope she will win.
All right, so I'm just going to make this point towards you, right? So yes, I've never listened to it. I'll have to take your word for it, right? She may not be, let's say in the context of a radio personality, right? In terms of being able to read the news or whatever, engage persons like that. But I believe that if they had her doing that, it was to provide her with some visibility so that persons would be more familiar with hearing her voice, etc., right? And you also made a point of her reading the news, and you don't know how she worked at the bank for so long. You have to remember that we have different strengths. So while it is that she may be good in the job that she was doing at the bank, it doesn't mean that the same would extend to reading the news, right? Yeah, it's not always the same. You could put me in front of an audience right now as a live MC, and I might make mistakes. Where it is, I'm not making the same mistakes being here on radio, not in front of a live audience. So I don't want for you to look at it as a markdown towards her in terms of saying that she cannot be the constituency rep she cannot be constituency rep on account of not being able to read the news. I prefer to provide balance, right?
You ladies so balanced and so sensible. that you're really defending her. I
ain't defending her, because I don't know her personally, but I have to be able to see things from all sides. And I don't want you to mark me down for one thing and say that I am not good for everything else. You understand?
Yeah, but what happened? Wait, decide that Pika should I know? Well, if she had to cut short from reading the news because you have simple news that she can't read, and she had to be in parliament.
You see, maybe that is exactly one of these stepping stones, because if she was fluent enough to be able to read on radio, etc., then it would help as preparation for her to be able to prepare for parliament. So, it's a stepping stone.
And besides, how long ago was that? She could have, improved by now, gotten some training by now,
Yes, because I telling you, as a man, I don't know, I could read anything. I can't write, I can't spell. Half I think I could read.
So you see, we all have different strengths, right? So exactly that. We have different strengths.
Yes, so you make a good excuse for her, but if she already put them kind of thing, so please do come and embarrass yourself.
All right,
sir. You're not ready to go in parliament. Eh?
All right, sir.
So, yes, well, with Kingsley, I telling you, I don't know. I don't know. Kingsley is an encyclopedia to your own self, and sometimes go over. I mean to say, if somebody could learn something, I could gather something from, but at the same time, you can't keep yourself.
Okay.
Anyway, have a good day.
You too. Thank you. All right.
All right, then. Okay, I think.
All right, so just to answer Kingsley's question, or just to give my thoughts on it. So he's saying, or he's asking the question, is Camillo Gonsalves better placed to win his seat, right? I would say that from looking at it from the outside, I think that he is for more than one reasons. And it has nothing to do with him being the prime minister's son, right? I do enjoy listening to him when he speaks. I know that there's always this thing there's this mark against him that persons say that they don't see him enough in the constituency. I don't live in the constituency, so I can't vouch for that, right? But persons say that. But knowing me, how it is that I think in terms of I can totally understand a politician not being everywhere all the time, because you do have to have that separation of personal life as well as political life. And, I think for me, there are times when I do think that we ask too much of politicians. Again, I am not making excuses for him, but I can look at it from an individual standpoint, right? But I do think that he is better placed to win his seat. I also do have to sometimes question, though. I know that many persons think that he's the heir apparent. And from a particular standpoint, I often wonder if he actually wants to be prime minister. I see him as being, yes, a politician in terms of representing, having the portfolio that he does, running his constituency. But there are times when I wonder from a personal standpoint, just for some simple things, some simple things that I see, whether or not he actually has aspirations of wanting to be prime minister. And I think maybe that is a question that we have to tend to ask sometimes, as opposed to just assuming that because he's the prime minister's son, that this is what is supposed to follow. But that is going to be a whole other conversation. So, yeah.
All right, then. Like you, according to the information that I'm seeing, I'm hearing, that I'm receiving, it seems as though there definitely is a preference for Camillo Gonsalves over, Ms. Felix. But time will tell, innit? Time will tell when election bell rings, and that's all I'm gonna say. So we are going to any comments on the topic? No, if not, then it is now 8:01, which means that we are going to head out of this talk segment. And a reminder that this time check came to us by the New Haven Funeral Home.